Well, this is very sad news I'm going to bring to you. It's just a brief update uh, pertaining to a murder-suicide here in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $BeganG129 Cash App, stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. Robin Latrice Lane, 52, Gregory Lamont Ellington, 48, Hinton Hollow Apartments is where this terrible tragedy took place.
Just into our newsroom, we now know who was killed in a suspected murder-suicide in a West Knox County apartment. Knox County Sheriff's deputies say Robin Lane and Gregory Ellington died. Deputies responded to a possible domestic-related incident at Hinton Hollow Apartments back on Sunday.
Okay.
Just into our newsroom, we now know who killed.
I'm going to stop right there. I brought you this commentary because of Robin Lane. Many years ago, 30 plus years ago, we lived in a apartment complex, and she was my neighbor, and we were young at the time because, as you see, she's 52 at the time of death, and I'm 54, so she's a year or so older than her. I'm assuming she might be turning 53 had she lived, but anyway, she's a neighbor. We lived in an apartment complex. I was a young woman, mother at the time, and this is disturbing news to me because when I got the notification on the Newsbreak app, which I'm a contributor, I said, well, let me go to Facebook. So I pulled up the boyfriend husband's name, and then I saw where somebody liked a picture, and then I went to that person's name, and it was Robin's name, wasn't her full government name. And I said, I just kept looking at her photographs, and someone said, well, go into the photos and see if she looks familiar to you, because she did at first, and I think the more I looked at pictures, I kept saying, this person looks familiar to me. So as I kept scrolling through the pictures, I realized, is this Robin, my ex-neighbor? So I called around to a few people, left messages, and then one person answered the phone who used to be a neighbor of ours as well. She used to live next door to me, a young lady. And she said, yeah, that's Robin. She used to be our neighbor. I'm stunned. I'm just stunned. I have not seen her in many years, but this is a small community. A lot of people know of each other by some form of fashion, living around each other, friends of friends, relatives, hanging out, going different places. You see people, get to know people by name, face. And it's a tragedy because I believe the understanding is that there was some domestic situation, and this boyfriend, husband, whomever, was possibly under the influence of substances. And then one thing led to another. That's what was told to me. Don't know how true that is, but it's obvious that both are deceased. So somebody unalived one and then unalived themselves. And if it didn't go the way I said it, I don't have a problem bringing a retraction. But either way, they're both deceased. This is sad to me because, the past couple of days, Queen has not been in the best mood. I've been very moody, very just agitated at certain things. And just, as I said, as I was trying to tell a dodo bird, right now I'm in a time of reflection, what I'm saying, with my own life and decisions. And, just hearing something like this it's a lot to digest. Even if I wasn't in a bad mood, it's just a lot to digest to know, you knew of someone, you lived around that person, for a year or two, and then you hear that they are now dead 30-something years ago. They didn't die from diabetes or a heart attack. They didn't have a stroke. It wasn't a car wreck. They died by the hands of another human being, allegedly. So it's a lot to digest, and this is just so terrible. So my condolences to the families of both parties, because in the end, can't blame other people for other people's decisions. But this is terrible. Something else was said pertaining to the perpetrator and her, but I'm not going to repeat it on the live stream as not to, pass gossip. But if what was going on, what I was thinking was going on, it's a tragedy in itself, even without death, because you teach people how to treat you. I'm going to say that. And I'm going to say that for my own self. You teach people how to treat you. So when you're in the company of people who do not treat you well, your best remedy is to remove yourself. There's just certain things that people do that don't warrant second chances, don't warrant conversations, don't warrant dealing with them again. And I think we all know what those type of situations are. I mean, everybody has his or her own limit and breaking point in dealing with human beings, but certain things that you do to a person, there shouldn't be a second chance. And I think you know what those things are. So if indeed those things are true pertaining to Robin and this Mr. Gregory, she should have ran like hell. And that's the whole thing. Hindsight is 20/20. You can't go back. And now she's gone. And he's also gone. So once again, prayers to the family members, friends, and the community. Thank you all. Let's get on down to business, everybody. Wendy Williams. We're going to play 2 pieces of content pertaining to Wendy Williams. And we're also going to talk about this EBT nonsense that's going on in different parts of the United States and also here in Tennessee where a bill has been passed where you can't buy now candy and soda pops with your EBT card, which don't make no damn sense because there are all types of foods that are fatty and not good for you that you'll be able to still purchase with your EBT card. Wendy Williams called into a morning show, and we're going to hear her conversation with this news anchor pertaining to her situation and going to the hospital yesterday. Kudos for Wendy Williams to finally say she wanted to take control of her situation. Amen. God is good.
When do you know what? An attorney on board. There isn't anything. No attorneys, but, you know. Okay.
Okay, so this news reporter, anchor, talking to Gina and a Miss Wendy Williams. Where do I begin? 2 tests have been performed at this hospital. She seems aware of her faculty. She passed the tests, the questions asked, 10 questions or so asked. She passed all of them. So naturally, they're going to be the obvious questions, your name, parents, who's the president, so on and so forth. I hear that there was a little debacle going on with the Guardian. And as you hear Wendy speak, she never calls her by her name. This will lead you to believe there's no relationship between Sabrina and Wendy, which to me is baffling. You're over someone's life, their money. You're taking fees out. What are the fees? We learned that it's $13,000 a month plus any other care amenities. So probably $13,000 plus a month. Then you multiply that times 52 weeks. You're at like $300,000+ a year for this woman to stay in this facility. She's been there since March of 2022 or went into guardianship of 2022 of March. Okay, so we're now back in March 2025. So you're talking about 3 years. That's a long time to be paying for someone to be in a care facility, plus whatever amenities they need. And yet, this woman was still under these people's nose up until yesterday, Monday or yesterday. So, you know, it's baffling information, very baffling. So what are the fees, extra fees to stay there? What are the fees that Sabrina is charging out of Wendy's estate? Because really, we don't even know how much money Wendy Williams has. We don't even know how much she had when she went into the care of the guardianship. I don't believe they have a good relationship. My understanding is that this woman stood outside a room while Wendy was being questioned. We also heard that she was trying to intervene. There was no conversation between she and Wendy. Why not? You're over somebody's life, but you don't even hold a conversation with them at a hospital. And I'm sure you were upset that Wendy dropped that note and law enforcement came and whisked her out of there. And you could see they were very delicate with Wendy Williams from the videos that are now all over the world showing her being escorted into an ambulance. They help her into the ambulance. You hear Wendy saying they treated her very well. The staff, police, and the ambulance service, and also at the hospital. Sabrina, this was the day you did not want to happen. And we also hear that you were trying to intervene. Intervene how? Intervene while they're asking her questions? You didn't want her to answer the questions? That's why she's there. And Wendy has enough sense to know I don't want the people from the hospital, from the facility asking me questions. I want to hear I want other people to ask me questions from an outside party. Exactly, because the people at the hospital, they're going to be on board with having Wendy lock and key in this facility. They're getting paid by these people. So hell yeah, they're going to say anything. Oh no, she don't know nothing. She don't remember nothing. But she got her ass out of there. That's why they say, well, there's a will, there's a way. Really, she should have came on the evaluation at least 6 months after being in a facility. There are a lot of people who drink alcohol, use drugs. They are not bound by any facility. You're only bound by a facility if it's court ordered, such as you've gotten yourself in some trouble and legally the judge says, okay, I want you to go get some rehab. But in the end, when the rehab is over, you are entitled to leave. So what's the problem here? Oh, that's right, she don't got no memory. Well, if it's alcohol induced, anybody with sense knows after some time of not drinking, her memory will be a little bit more on point, which obviously that's where she is right now. What's going to happen to Wendy Williams? Okay, that's the gazillion-dollar question. Will a judge take on her situation immediately? The state is now involved because Adult Protective Services were called last week due to them getting information that she went down to Florida without money. And that is considered elder abuse. Have her traveling all the way from East Coast to the lower part of the East Coast, visiting her father for his 94th birthday, and she didn't have money. They gave her a dummy card, a credit card with no money on it. Why would you give somebody a card with no money on it? That makes no damn sense. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Here's your credit card to use while you're visiting your father, but there's no money on it. So imagine being out running the card and it's declined. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That's embarrassing to anybody. Why not just tell her the truth? We don't have any money to give to you. We're not going to give you any money. Why would you give somebody a dummy card? The fact that she said this woman also has access to her cell phone. She can't use her own phone. She don't have it. They probably took it from her when she first went to this facility. She has a landline phone in her room. She can dial out, but nobody can call her. Then what's the point of that? What's the point of having a damn phone that only goes out one way? That's abuse. You're going to get 50% of privileges. Oh, here's your phone. You can dial out, but can't nobody come see you. You can't just go out when you want. You can't go visit people. You wouldn't treat a person like this in assisted living. You wouldn't treat a person like this in a nursing home. People still have rights no matter where they are. Okay? People in jail get treated better than this, and people in prison get treated better than this. Let's be truthful. And as this woman said, they act like you've committed a crime. So I'm going to say this because it's the truth. Everybody needs to take note of this Wendy Williams story because you don't know the day that you may end up just like her. Because all it takes is for one person to declare something wrong with you. That's mental, physical. And next thing you know, you're going through the courts trying to prove you are aware of your faculties. We heard the stories. We saw the documentaries. We could see that something was wrong with her, that she was imbibing alcohol. She was being taken advantage of by different people. It was obvious. But sadly, this happens to people every day. And yes, somebody has to step in at some point, but then you have to ask yourself, how far is it going to go in somebody intervening on your behalf? This, to me, went too far with Wendy Williams. Yes, the bank had every right to flag her account because they saw things weren't right with the spending. And frankly, anybody should want that. But see, she had love for her son. That's why she was jaded. She was under the influence of alcohol and jaded by love. And those are two things that can take you down: alcohol and love. And she had to learn the hard way by trusting her son with her credit card, and he's blowing it up on DoorDash. Nobody is eating $100,000 worth of DoorDash in a month. It's bullshit. Even with two people, $100,000, that's a lot of money. That's a whole house. That's a luxury car, $100,000. And he should feel shame that he's the reason his mother is in this situation, because in the end, you did take advantage of a vulnerable person. Now, whether you like Wendy Williams or not, her tactics on the talk show, the gossiping, the point still remains, yes, she's a human being and people make mistakes. She trusted her son. That was her mistake. She became an alcoholic. That was her mistake. But to deny her civil rights, you don't have that right. And I can see why no one would trust the courts wouldn't trust a family member because she already got in a pickle because of a family member. So they would think, well, we're not going to trust our brother, sister, cousin, nobody else, because that's why she's in this mess in the first place. But at some point, there should have been evaluations done about her health and her memory and retesting to see if possibly she could come out from under the guardianship. And I don't think that was done. If it was done, I don't have knowledge that it was done. We're now talking about 3 years. 3 years is too long. After 6 months of being in a facility of no alcohol, proper dieting, somebody should have been assessing her mental state. And I'm stunned that nobody fought to get her tested at least 6 months in to say, hey, we want her tested. We want them to reevaluate her alleged physical ailment, this frontal lobe issue, blah, blah, blah. 3 years, that's too damn long. Anything can happen in 3 years. In 3 years, she could have died. 3 years, she could have killed herself. Let's keep it real. But she was vigilant, held on. And she's out of that facility. She's in a safe place, they say. I don't know exactly where. But my thing is, get the ball rolling. And obviously, Wendy is not going to go down without a fight. She's letting you know, I'm aware of my faculties. I know who I am. I know where you have me. And let's be truthful. If it's a memory unit and the people don't have a memory, well, Wendy does have a memory because she can tell you that they give her pills. She asks questions. Hey, what is this for? An incapacitated person is not going to ask that question. They're just going to take the pills, do whatever's told to them. Hey, it's time to eat. Because as you get dementia or any type of memory issue, you have to be told when to eat. That's why a lot of people with dementia die, because they forget to eat. So she knows who she is, where she's at. I'm assuming the people on that unit don't know where they are. And that's the difference. My fear is the thereafter. She's released to her own recognizance, gains access to her funds again, God forbid, whatever she has, and she goes back to drinking. That would be my fear for her. But in the end, that's a choice because she's an adult. And naturally, the first time she's even seen anywhere out in public with a martini glass, wine glass, somebody's going to be calling. Oh, she's drunk, she's this, she's that. And she may not even be drunk. It's just the fact that she's drinking. So that's what she's going to have to live with. She's not going to have any privacy. And even if she buys alcohol, there'll still be somebody watching and looking and lurking. And I'm sure she'll change her money over from Wells Fargo. She'll find her another bank because she definitely will not want to deal with Wells Fargo after this debacle. She'll probably find another bank to bank with. So what is her worth at the moment? How much money does she actually have in the bank? Investments, where are they? Because I would be very leery of any investments, any of the companies that she could have had. And this woman has access to all of her personal effects if she even knows of everything that Wendy had. And I believe Wendy even had another bank when she had gotten the money from the documentary. She was smart. That even tells you that even then when she was loopy, she still had sense enough to hide some money. A person incapacitated would not know to do that, even in her worst moment. So far, she has passed tests given to her at the hospital. Now, Sabrina, I want to talk to you for just a second. You're not fighting the lawsuit by A&E that you were going to try to sue them for monies of them taking advantage of Wendy Williams doing the documentary. You decided to leave that be. And that's also, she's supposed to be getting testing, Wendy, for that debacle with the A&E situation. But Wendy says she doesn't want to fight them on anything about the documentary because she agreed to do it, whether she was deemed incapacitated or not. Wendy says she don't care about that money. She don't care about nothing pertaining to the documentary. It was Sabrina who wanted to sue A&E, or Lifetime, excuse me. So Sabrina has backed down on that lawsuit, okay? She's backed down. So this is how I feel about that, Sabrina. Since you backed down from the Lifetime lawsuit, you should just remove yourself from being the guardian. Because what you have proven at the hospital is that you're messy and you're meddlesome, and you don't have a relationship with Wendy Williams. You have just been taking her money, doing as you see fit, and more than likely that woman probably don't got barely 2 dimes to rub together. So I don't even know how she's still in the hospital, because really I don't even know what Wendy Williams is worth. But anybody can use deduction that whatever fees you're taking out, whatever care she's getting, plus the $13,000 a month at this facility, 300,000 times 3, we're almost under $1 million for her care, if it's already reached $1 million. It won't be long, Wendy won't have no money. And I think that's the desired effect. Dwindle it down until there's nothing. And then push her out the door with zero money in her pocket. She'd be lucky if she had $100,000 in her bank account. Then you'd free her when there's nothing to swindle out of her. That's what I think. That's why she needs to hurry up and get the hell out of there, because she's gotten money wasted by being in this care facility. And frankly, if I was her, I'd have a lawyer sue Miss Sabrina for every damn dime spent at that facility. For every aspirin, every water bottle, everything they tacked on for a bill, I would sue her, and I also would sue the facility. I'd get all my money back. I'd get all my damn money back. Because we already know how much it costs to live in New York City. Then you count that this is a living care facility, a high dollar one at that. Hell yeah, you're giving me all my money back. And then some. And that's exactly what Wendy should do. And she should tack that in on her suit to free herself. I want freedom to walk out, go where the hell I want to go. If I want to sit in a park and feed the ducks and talk to the birds, that's what I want to do. Run my feet through the grass, and then sue Sabrina and also the facility. Because she's going to have money to live off of. Especially if she still wants to stay in New York, work, live. New York City is a very expensive place to live. Frankly, I wouldn't even want to stay in New York. I'd go somewhere else to live. Give New York a break. Because frankly, I would be tired of looking at skyscrapers and me personally. And anywhere where I was held captive, I don't think I'd want to be there in that jurisdiction. That's just me. Everybody's different. But I wouldn't want to still live in New York City. I'd want to go stay somewhere else for a while. Let me go see Georgia, Texas, California, anywhere. I'd want to go somewhere else. That's just me. But everybody's different, okay? Everybody's different. Now, what will a judge decide? Give her or still give her another guardian? And will the judge be worried that she'll start back drinking again? But that's the point. You can't worry about tomorrow. You can only focus on today. And today, she seems lucid. So that's the best you can do, okay? Give her her freedom. If she decides to start back drinking, pill popping, that will be her choice. Because in the end, as I have said, there are many people who imbibe drugs, alcohol right now, and they have lucrative income and jobs. Let's just keep it real. They are athletes, engineers, doctors, lawyers, actresses, dancers. We have heard the stories of wealthy, well-off people who get high as a kite. They get drunk every day. That is their choice. She wouldn't be the first, or she won't be the last. So see, it's a double-edged sword when you look at it demographically. There are many people who were in her situation, and they were, yes, being used, taken advantage of by friends, neighbors. The bank stepped in, and that's how this debacle came about. I would pray for her sake that she don't get herself in this situation. But I also know that old habits die hard, that there would be a very high chance that Wendy could start back drinking again because it's in her DNA. She has abused before. So there is a high probability she would do it again. But as I said, that would be her choice. Whoever she wants to give her money to, that would be her choice. But I would hope that, as I said, after what she's been through, she would say to herself, I don't want to be in that predicament again. I won't give anyone access to debit cards, checkbooks. And her name, put it in the database, security company. They run a check every so often on your name, Social Security being used. And if they see anything fraudulent, they send you a notification to let you know, hey, your name is being used for a line of credit, credit card, And then, you know, she can stay on top of it that way. But if she wants to go out here and blow all her money on DoorDash, Louis Vuitton, that would be her choice. Now, I shared to my community page, also TMZ, they did a quick video pertaining to this subject matter, and they talked to her friend Gina, and I'm gonna go ahead and play that just in case some of you didn't see that interview with Gina, so you can get an idea who this lady is that's helping her with her case. Hopefully she can get freed from this guardianship, but I'm praying she doesn't go back to another type of facility, because then she'll be right back in the same damn hole that she just crawled out of. So that was, I believe that was Good Day New York. And then we have this information by TMZ. I'm going to play that briefly. And then we're going to talk about this EBT nonsense that's going on here in America. You can't buy sweets with your food stamp card. Crazy nonsense. Lord have mercy, the world is. They voted this damn man in, and it's just been nonstop BS. It's nonstop. It's just, the world is going backwards. It's almost like we live in Russia, where we don't have any to do anything. But as they always say, you teach people how to treat you. So some people couldn't understand who they voted for. Now they know. Now you see, he don't care about none of you. Whether you get EBT or not. The government, you don't care about the government. As they say, seek and ye shall find.
I'm Alex Michelson, in for Charles today.
So,
hey, how you doing?
Big development, maybe game-changing development in the Wendy Williams guardianship case. Wendy went to Lenox Hill Hospital yesterday and took a test to determine if she functions in a cognitive way, where she knows, where she has a memory, where she is present and with it. Wendy Williams was asked 10 questions by a psychiatrist. She aced the test. She answered all 10 correctly. And that is hugely important, because Wendy is not under a guardianship. She is under one that she says is akin to a prison, where she is confined to the 5th floor, the memory unit of a facility in New York City, where she can't even leave the floor without permission from an attendant. She can't take calls when people call in. That can't happen. Can't use the internet. She is not allowed visitors. And she has been this way for many, many, many months. And she wants out. So this is a huge deal that a psychiatrist said she aced this test.
Because the whole point of her being on the memory floor is because she's supposed to not be able to remember anything. They asked her 10 questions to check her memory, and she got all of them right. This is some video that we have gotten. Harvey did an entire documentary with Wendy, talking to her. You've been in regular communication with her about this, and you've also been in communication with somebody who's very close with her, who we're talking to today.
Yeah, indeed. Her name is Gina Lisa Monterosa. Now, Gina is really, really critical in this, because she has been helping Wendy navigate her circumstances, and actually helped engineer this trip to the hospital with a backdrop of an NYPD investigation now, an Adult Protective Services investigation now. So a lot is changing, and Gina is joining us. Gina, we are so happy to have you here. Welcome to TMZ Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Harvey. Alex, thank you so much.
So what do you make of the results here? How important is it?
Over the past year, I tried to build a bot to make some passive income, but honestly, it was a total flop, and my smart contracts didn't work the way I wanted, and I just ended up wasting money. But then I decided to give it a
Sorry
shot,
about that.
and that
Had a commercial.
changed everything.
Sorry about that, everybody.
It's big. It's big news. I think it's something that everybody, the public, has been waiting for, wanting answers, myself as well. It just really states a big case, and a very factual case, that Wendy's not incapacitated.
Now, what's next?
Well, right now Wendy's in the hospital. We're waiting to see, what the next tests are. It's my understanding she may be going under some more tests. And hopefully we're trying to see if she can go into a less restricted environment.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because my understanding from talking to Wendy and others is that you want something not just less restrictive, you want to end the guardianship.
We do. Unfortunately, we do have to go through the courts. There's a lot right now that's going on. Right now, Wendy told me she can't pick her own attorney. She has to stay with the attorney that she has right now. Wendy was interested in picking other attorneys to come on board to help her. It doesn't seem that that's going to actually happen. And so we just have to see and wait how this attorney she currently has, Sudat Salami, who's been very active in trying to see to get her a step closer to getting her to a less restricted environment.
You say she's still at the hospital. How long are you expecting her to stay at the hospital, and what kind of tests are we talking about?
It's day by day right now. I think she has to go through another eval as well, just to kind of seal the deal. I think it's a little more extensive is my understanding, but that may not be true. I don't know. Everything's just been up in the air as of today, but right now she's safe in a safe environment where she is protected and she's not confined. And there's people on her side, and it's the hospital.
So shoot me down here if you want, but my recon is she's at the hospital not necessarily because of additional tests. She does not want to go back to that memory unit.
No, there are more tests coming. It's my understanding there's one today. I don't know if it's going to actually happen, but no, obviously, clearly, nobody would want to go there. Wendy doesn't want to go there. She doesn't want to go back to a confined space. She doesn't want to go onto a locked unit. No, she definitely does not want to do that. And she feels very protected at the hospital.
Can you talk also about Wendy's media strategy with all this? We know that she did the documentary with Harvey. She called in the Breakfast Club today. She's supposed to be on The View later this week. What's the thinking there?
Have you heard of life insurance with living benefits? This type of life insurance policy pays out tax-free cash while you are still alive. If you need long-term care, become this.
There's no strategy. I am not PR, but we do take things day by day. I mean, Harvey, who has been, on the front of all of this and being probably the most person that actually helped us get this to the world. He's in contact with us. We're in contact with him. He helps us, get out important information that the public needs to know. There's no strategy. There's no book I'm following. There isn't anything.
Gina, the question that I'm asked more than any other is why is the guardianship, the judge and the guardian, why are they trying to hold on so tight? Why are they not just looking at her? Because, look, there's some common sense involved here. When you listen to her, when you talk to her, everybody I know who's interacted with her says she's back to the old Wendy. Why do you think the guardianship is hanging on the way they are and saying she needs to be in this? She's not well. She's getting worse. It's sort of like, who do you believe, me or your lying eyes?
Just looking at everything, I mean, clearly Wendy doesn't belong on the locked floor. What would be the only answer?
Money.
The only answer would be this whole lifetime lawsuit. I really believe that maybe the guardian wants to save her reputation. She wants to clear her name and, holding lifetime responsible for the outcome of that documentary and not herself, because obviously she was under a guardianship when this happened.
In other words, that the guardian wasn't there.
It's more to it than this lifetime. Lifetime is not getting money to hold Wendy in this facility. Come on, ladies, stop it now. Money is the root to all evil, is what most people think. Some people believe, okay? Money is the object. This woman gets a fee for having Wendy under the guardianship. We don't even know how much money the lady actually gets paid. So see, that's another question. As you heard Wendy telling the news anchor, we'll talk about that later behind closed doors. Exactly. And that's the one thing that lady does not want revealed to the public, what her finder's fee is every month going in Wendy's account in business transactions, okay? She doesn't want that information out. And it's obvious she does not have a relationship with Wendy. I bet she has never gone to this facility, this building, to check on this woman. I bet you she don't talk to the doctors, the therapists. She don't even go in once a week in person just to say, hey, how's she doing? Hey, I need to see Wendy. I got to see my client. So I'm going to ask you, Sabrina, when was the last time you went into this facility and talked directly to Wendy Williams face to face, had a conversation, asked her how her day is going? How do you feel mentally? Do you think you could take care of yourself one day? I bet you have never even had that conversation with her. Because my understanding is that there was a little snafu at the hospital where you were intervening while they were asking Wendy Williams questions. You were trying to intervene. They won't tell us how. But to me, that sounds like a messy ass Karen to me. You don't want her talking because you don't want her to tell the truth. You don't want her to keep putting the word out that she's aware of her faculties. Because for Wendy to keep talking, that's a problem for you. You don't make no money. So as long as Wendy is aware of her faculties, she can speak for herself. She can say, hey, I feel better. Hey, I want to walk the earth and be a free woman. You don't get no money. So the object is the money. Nobody's going to make me believe you are concerned about Wendy Williams. You are not. Because she won't even call you by your name. Okay? She doesn't even call you by your name. So that tells me there's no rapport between you and your client. That also tells me you're probably not checking in on her. You're not even going to this fancy building in New York and walking your ass in there and saying, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How you feeling? Do you even let her go out for day trips in New York? To the mall, the bookstore? See, that's what counts. The interaction. And all through these interviews, Wendy never calls you Sabrina. She never calls you by your government name. Why not? Not one time since this bullshit started has she ever said Miss Mrs. Morsay, Miss Mrs. Sabrina. Oh yeah, we talked yesterday. Yeah, she came by here. Yeah, she calls me. Yeah, she checks up on me. You just got her in a high dollar ass babysitting facility. And you cutting your own personal check out that woman's money, and it ain't no telling how much you're getting. And I won't doubt that there's some fraud because you have been accused of fraud with some other clients and other dirty lawyers and judges. Yes, Queen's done her homework. They've got all type of articles written up about you, honey. And I watched a crazy movie on Netflix a few years ago where this was a scam by people who ran nursing facilities. They went out and hunted people. Yeah. It's a game, just like a movie. It was a game. They go out and hunt people who are well off and get them admitted into facilities. And then the people don't know that they've turned over their whole life savings and monies to this dirty organization where somebody runs these type of facilities. It's like what am I trying to say? It's a conspiracy. It's like a group of people who get together to scheme elderly people out of their estate. So the people think they're signing their, they're going to some facility because they need to go. But in the end, they're forfeiting everything that they own. Now, this was a fictional movie. I mean, it's a damn good movie. Matter of fact, the girl who played in it, she also was the girl that starred in Fabulous Actress. And when this jumped off with Wendy Williams, that movie came to mind. That movie came to mind. Where they lure these innocent elderly people into this nursing facilities. You know, it's like a glorified assisted living. The people are still aware of their faculties. They didn't have dementia, but it's just really a place for older people. But little did the people know they were going in there, not going to check out, not going to have no monies, not going to have no nothing. That's what this sounds like to me. A bunch of people got in cahoots together. Now, some people say, well, that means you got to go with Wells Fargo too. So that's what I want to know. Wells Fargo Bank, do you have any connection to Sabrina Morsay, the judge who rendered the decision? Do you know Sabrina Morsay personally? Oh, you're going to go in the belly of the beast. Because if it's ever revealed that anybody from any of those entities know each other, I say there's going to be some smoke in the city. So we're going to start with Wells Fargo. We're going to start with Sabrina. We're going to start with the judge, and we're going to start with the MF that runs this place. If any of you four people know each other, Wendy Williams will never have to worry about money again. She can drink herself to death if she chooses to when she gets out, because she can have a lawsuit fatter than a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, if you all are following me. Because I got a feeling out of the 4 people I just named, I'm going to bet 2 know each other. Checkmate.
There to protect and stop her when they were filming when Wendy was clearly under the influence.
Correct. And, the Guardian, in my opinion, put Wendy at harm. She was not the one that put the checks and balances to ensure that Wendy was safe during this Lifetime documentary. That was her responsibility.
Exactly.
Nobody else.
Well said.
Obviously, sobriety has been good for Wendy and her memory.
Exactly.
If she's out of the guardianship, if she's out of this restricted environment, what steps is she going to take to stay clean and sober?
Wendy is clean and sober now. And Wendy will be taking her sobriety very seriously. And we are going over many steps to ensure that Wendy will remain, alcohol free. This is something that she understands. This is something that her niece understands. We all understand the importance of making sure that there are steps and there are barriers put in place, that Wendy is protected, and, no one is going to be, an influence.
See, that's the fear, is even if the guardianship is lifted, she's able to roam, work her monies, live her life as a free citizen. That would be the fears, that she would go back and drink. And that's understandable, because that's what got her in this mess in the first place. Not having free will and being aware of her monies and her son and some other woman spending her money. So that would still be the problem once she's free. It's not getting in cahoots with the wrong elements and also drinking. So that's why I said earlier, hopefully if she's free, I'll claim it. If and when she's free, she will not go back to drinking, and she will also watch her pocketbook. Not give anybody access to any monies, loans, checkbook, or credit cards, or debit cards, because she'll be right back where she came from. And she'll probably need a financial advisor. But then see, at this point, who do you trust? Let's just keep it real. Because trust is what got Wendy Williams in this situation. Using drugs, alcohol, and trusting her son. And then he got in cahoots with some other woman. You heard Wendy Williams talking about that. Don't know who this mystery woman is. But the point is, whoever was involved in trying to get this woman's money, people take advantage of you when they see that you are falling by the wayside. And naturally, they'll take advantage of you even when you upbeat and you're aware of your faculties. Because money lures people in. That's why you hear all these crazy stories of people with money being duped and hoodwinked and bamboozled by date scams and family members, friends, people, using their credentials to open up a line of credit cards. You have to be very careful, period. I don't care who you are. Your identity can be stolen if you make just $25,000 a year. So long as you got good credit, somebody can go in and open up a credit card. Your ass is doomed. And that's the issue here. That is the issue. She still got some money. She's still a walking target. And I'm sure she still loves her son, but that's one person that she is not going to be able to trust either, because he should feel bad knowing, even though my mother was drinking herself to damn near to death, I still aided in her downfall. Because you were spending money on all type of crazy stuff. We hear something about renting a boat, and the boat was supposed to be a $1,500 rental or $2,500 rental. It ended up being over $100-something thousand. $120-something thousand for a boat. To do what? See, that's abuse right there. Taking advantage of this lady. DoorDash payments. I think an average human could eat up $100,000 worth of food in a month. Come on now. $100,000 in fast food. I want you to think about that. In 1 month, 30 damn days, $100,000. DoorDash. Even with 2 people, come on. See, that's abuse right there, her own child. But Wendy was under the influence at the time, so she didn't care. So hell yeah, that would flag your bank account. Because The bank watches what you spend. And they're looking like, okay, wait a minute. DoorDash, boat rentals, this and that, apartment, cars. They're looking like, wait a minute, this woman live in New York City. What's with all these purchases? You know, we all want money. That's the whole thing about living. We all want money. We all want to live well. We would love to have this kind of money. But as you see, with this kind of money brings problems. Lucky for me, I would tell myself the only problem I would have would just be fraud. Somebody would fraudulently, get a hold of my information and try to open up credit cards, this and that. But as far as somebody begging and coming to the queen talking about they need $20,000, $30,000, can I borrow your credit card? Can I borrow your checkbook? Hell no. I don't give a damn who you are. You're not getting a checkbook, a credit card, or nothing. I don't give a damn who you are. I'm never going to give nobody no damn black card to just run around the city and run it up. You my child. I don't give a damn who you are. I'm not going to give you, even in my drunkest moment, I'm not going to give you no debit card. That's on God. Because I know Queen when it comes to that money. And I'm not getting ready to give nobody no checkbook. Just give you my checkbook. Just give you my credit card. Just let you just run it up. Because I'm drunk. So hell yeah, he took advantage of his mom. Be aware of your faculties. Even when you're inebriated, you got to have some limits about yourself. Because people will take your ass down and swear for God they love you. And like I said, she's partial to blame, of course, because of her own deviances, devices. And the son, you're a part of this too, because you know you had no business running that woman's card up like that. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
And she's not going to be in a situation where, she will start drinking again. I mean, that is a priority. That is a high priority on Wendy's end.
Gina, I got a call yesterday from the NYPD, and they wanted my impressions of Wendy. So it sounds like they're doing, and I know they were at
the police called him
yesterday.
Damn.
It sounds like they're looking into this. Adult Protective Services in New York is looking into this.
Amen.
You know what the status of that is, and have you spoken with them?
Right now, everything is open and ongoing. Nothing is closed.
If you're 45 years or...
Sorry about that. Brief intermission. Ongoing, everybody. Well, now you know NYPD police and Adult Protection Services are now involved. The cat is out of the bag now.
Be taken, and I'm more than sure that Wendy will exercise those steps.
Has the Guardian said anything to Wendy with everything that's going on?
Exactly.
I mean, that we've adopted the NYPD and Adult Protective Services and a psychiatric test and all these things. Has the Guardian interacted with her at all to talk about this?
No, it's my understanding. Wendy said the Guardian showed up at the hospital, didn't ask how she's doing, didn't ask what's going on.
Did you talk to Wendy?
Not at all. She just stood outside of her room, according to Wendy.
What's going on?
See? Who does that? You are over a whole person, a whole human, and you don't even walk up and say good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? And guess what else they're saying? Show you how dirty this white woman is. She then gave the damn lawyer the wrong address to the hospital. Are y'all hearing that? Because she was trying to get to that hospital before the lawyer got there so she could intervene, pull some old Erica Kane type bullshit. That's how dirty this woman is. Just an old dirty hag. Now you get to the hospital, you ain't got nothing to say to your own client. Why not? You steady digging in that woman's pocketbook every month and got her held up in some high dollar ass dementia lab for rats. Yeah, I said it. I mean, you get to the hospital, you don't got nothing to say. Why not? Help the queen understand why not. This is your client. Hi, how you doing, Wendy? Good to see you. Hope everything goes well. Hope you can be free. She don't want that woman free. Y'all better wake up, because I'm woke. She don't want Wendy Williams free, honey. And I'm sure there's a lot of other folks probably don't want her free, because we don't even know how far down the rabbit hole this nonsense goes.
What's going on here? I mean, why wouldn't the Guardian interact with her?
I think the Guardian is guarded, if that's the right thing to say. I think she feels that anything that she says towards Wendy is going to be put under a microscope, and she may be criticized for it. But that's sad and unfortunate, because to me, that means that she hasn't developed a relationship with Wendy.
Exactly.
She is not guarding Wendy.
Exactly.
She's not looking for what's in her best interest, because a good guardian will have a relationship with their ward.
Exactly.
A good guardian would be worried about their ward.
Exactly.
A good guardian would want their ward to be happy.
Exactly.
And so
Very well said.
If there's a communication breakdown, you need not be that guardian. Best interest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that's astounding to think about, the fact that she went all the way to the hospital, is standing outside the room, and won't even talk to Wendy.
It's bizarre.
It's not bizarre. It's showing you who this woman is. She's in it for the paycheck. She was in it from day one. That's why I told you all, when you go back in the book of life, somebody should be digging to see how many of these people know each other on a personal level. Wells Fargo Bank, whoever made the decision to flag the account, Miss Sabrina, do they know each other? The judge, does the judge know Sabrina? And whoever runs that damn facility, do they know Sabrina? Because I got a feeling somebody in this little group know each other. Somebody knows somebody, and probably have been doing some underhanded shit with each other for years. Now, this is where I would possibly believe in a conspiracy, because I got a feeling that somebody knows somebody, and they have extensive background on Sabrina Morrissey as not being a up to par attorney, that she's done some unsavory things with other people's monies, and people have taken her to court to sue for her stealing their money. Now, what are the odds of that? Just some random ass strangers have attempted to sue this lady for money. And then poof, voila, she's a guardian of a multimillionaire. Just out of the blue. Now you put that on paper. Poof, voila, she's somebody's guardian, a multimillionaire who's been now incapacitated, allegedly, for 3 years in a damn older folks nursing home. High dollar nursing home for the elderly. And Wendy's just 60. But yet you couldn't find nowhere else for this woman to be in 3 years. And I want you to think about that. Because you do have people out here with dementia and different types of dementia. They are not in nursing homes. They live in their own home, their own house, condo, apartment. And you know there are people with dementia. Hell, Gene Hackman just died and he had dementia, and he was living in his house, and his wife died before he did. So he was in there living with dogs and shit, and he walking around, probably didn't know what damn day it was. Shall I go on? And he was almost 100 years old. Now put that on paper. 95-year-old white man walking around his house unaware of anything, but yet Wendy Williams is locked up in a high dollar ass daycare. This is crazy.
It is bizarre. Gina, thank you so much for jumping on.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. I appreciate the both of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks again. It is just, it's hard for me to understand what's going on with the judge, what's going on with the guardian.
Exactly.
I mean, the guardian should be interacting with her. That's the point. And she's a stranger. And it's odd.
It does feel like things
Oh, sorry about that, everybody.
are going the right way for Wendy.
Yeah, it does. We're taking a break.
When we come back,
All right, everybody. That's Mr. Harvey. Wendy Williams is trying to get herself freed from this guardianship. I pray that she gets free. I hope she makes better life decisions, choices, the company she keeps. Also, I hope she stays sober, because that's what got her in this debacle in the first place. And as I always have said on this network, you have to be very careful the company you keep. I preach that all the time. And I don't know how many times I've said it, because there's obviously proof in the pudding. You can get yourself in a very dire situation if you don't make the right choices pertaining to your life. And, you know, as we get grown, we'll tell people when we're angry, you know, I'm grown, I can do what I want to do. As you see, you can't. That's a myth. The world is turning, and the world is turning on itself, and the world is revealing itself. And it's evident in this case that you can't do what you want to do. That with all the money you got, it don't mean nothing. That you can get yourself locked up in a damn nursing home and can't even make a move without somebody's permission and somebody watching you. And I won't be surprised if Wendy Williams has cameras in her room. Oh, I said that. I won't doubt that her phones are tapped. Why not? Why not? She has a landline to call out, but can't nobody call in. Who ever heard of such? Don't have access to a cell phone. Don't have access to what? An iPad, computer, laptop. All she do is watch TV. How depressing could that be to know who you are, know your name, birth date, know who brought you here, know what children you have, know what city you live in, you know who's the United States president, but you can't do nothing but sit in four corners and look at cable TV all damn day. And although we have many people who live this way and they don't have dementia or any type of memory loss, they just choose to sit their ass in their house all day and do nothing. That's a choice. But to know, hey, I want to walk out this door. I want to go ride a bicycle. I want to go out to eat. I want to go to work. I want to go to the picture show. I want to go do something besides sit up in here. That's a terrible way to live. And you can see the frustration. That's why she stands in that window. And finally, somebody heard Wendy Williams cry. Somebody saw those help signs in the window. Somebody called. And anyway, Adult Protective Services had already been notified a week ago, for those who didn't know. And I'm going to tell you something else about this Miss Sabrina Moore saying. You sent Wendy Williams down months ago to Miami, and she has it on camera, her running around in that little chair trying to find her chauffeur. Anything could have happened to her. She could have been kidnapped, beat up, dragged, any damn thing. Somebody could have thought Wendy Williams had some money on her that day. She's trying to get into the right car. And imagine had she got in the wrong damn car that fateful evening. Something terrible happened. Then what would have happened, ma'am, Miss Sabrina? You all the way up in New York, New Jersey, living high off the hog, while your client is being assaulted down in Miami. This is the reason why you don't need to be her guardian. Because, see, that's incident number one, that Miami trip where she was being filmed by some blogger and she was trying to find her driver. Then they also said she was waiting on her chair when she came out the restaurant and she didn't have a way to sit down. And you know the woman has swelling of the feet and the ankles. So whoever was with her was not giving her good care, okay? Then you sent her down there last month to visit her father with no money to spend. A fucking empty credit card. Who does this? This is crazy to me. So hell no, you don't need to be her guardian. And the fact that Wendy don't call you by your first damn name. You go to the hospital and you two aren't even talking, holding a damn conversation. But yet you are over this woman's whole life and her money. Hell yeah, this is bizarre. This just shows you, this is just a transaction of human beings. This woman is making money off another woman, point blank. And I won't doubt that a lot of Wendy Williams' money is gone. G-O-N-E, ghetto gone. Because there's no telling what this woman has done to this woman's money. And when you're a lawyer, you know how to move shit around. You know how to hide things. Lawyers do it every day for their clients. They do it for themselves. They even steal from their clients. We've heard so many times the lawyers are supposed to be fighting for people's money from lawsuits, and the people never get their money because the lawyer gets the money up front and don't even tell the client they got the fucking check. This is why you need to have an arrangement with the company you're suing. You give me my check directly and I'll pay the lawyer myself. Don't cut him no check. I'll do the cutting of the check. See, I don't trust this lady. Because as you heard here with this commentary, who goes to the hospital, just sits there and stands outside and don't say nothing to their own client? Hello, good morning, good afternoon. How you doing? How you feeling? Nothing. That's because they don't have a relationship. Wendy Williams is just a walking cash cow for Sabrina Morrissey. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, let's get to this dirty nonsense of the EBT card. I feel like a person has a right to buy whatever they want with their EBT card. I don't care that the government gives a card to people to buy food. So what? The average food is unhealthy in the grocery store. Let's make this known, okay? Because it should be already known. Telling a person they can't buy soda pop and sweet cakes, candy, whatever, it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You know why it's stupid? Because there are so many foods in the store that are unhealthy for citizens, such as drinks, punch. Some people may say tea is good. One day tea is good, the next day it's not good, okay? Just keeping it real. Fruit juice, crackers, cookies, baked goods. You gonna tell the people they can't buy baked goods? That means cookies, croissants, cakes, birthday cakes. Stop me. I'm on a roll. Processed food, lunch meat, hot dogs. Ain't nobody listening. Frozen food, breaded chicken, breaded fish, pizza, egg rolls, burritos. None of those foods are good. They're fatty, they're trans fat. Beef ain't good for you. Say it again, Queen. Excessive eating of red meat can cause gout. Excessive eating of fish can cause gout. Did you know that? I didn't even know that until probably a year or two ago. Because they both carry uric acid. So to sit up here and decide what is healthy and not healthy is bullshit. Because just as quick as you don't buy any soda pops with your EBT card, you don't buy any candy bars, Snickers, Almond Joy, you can still eat unhealthy food at the grocery store because just about everything in the frozen section is unhealthy, except for frozen vegetables. Let me make that clear. Lasagna, pot pies, soup in a can, high in sodium, Campbell's soup. Anybody listening? Potato chips, high in sodium. So when you start thinking about everything manufactured and put in the grocery store, you're basically telling the person not to buy anything because most food in the store is high in fat and preservatives and dye and trans fat. So sweets and soda pop are the least of your worries when you can eat unhealthy, just eating in excess. Say it again, Queen. Instead of eating one hamburger, 3 ounces or less, you eat, let's say, a 6-ounce hamburger. And then you eat that same hamburger meat again tomorrow and then the next day. See where I'm going? And you're not eating lean meat. Condiments. That is your mustard, salad dressing, ketchup. There are people who eat that like gobs. Syrup, jam, jelly. Come on with it, Queen, because don't nobody hear you. Peanut butter, white bread, starch. Starch is is known not to be good for you. So think about all the things that's served in the store. Cooking oil. Cooking your food in oil. Frying your food in oil, whether you use flour or cornmeal. Say, well, flour, not good for you. Are you serious? So it's deeper than just soda pop and candy bars with the EBT card. You could just as quickly stop buying soda pop candy bars with your EBT card and still be overweight with other products from the grocery store. This shows you how stupid people are in trying to decide what you can buy with your card. So if you feel this way, you telling people who even draw Social Security or disability check what the fuck they can do with their money. What's the difference? It's money issued by the government, even though you work for it, or you earned the right to get a disability check. Well, I don't want you buying this. I don't want you buying Dove soap. I think Ivory soap's better. What's the difference? It's all the same. I don't know, RJ. Just said it's not good for you. Common sense. But the point I'm trying to make is that there are lots of things in the store that are not good for you, that aren't sweet. Lunch meat, hot dogs. Hot dogs is high in fat. So a person could take their EBT card and spend $30, $40 just in hot dogs. What's the difference? Fat versus sweet. Fat is fat. Doesn't matter. Salt is salt. So they're all bad for you. Trans fat, fat, salt, sugar. You can die from any of these agents once they put in your mouth. And we have seen this with many men who love red meat. They end up getting gout, foot messed up, can't walk. What do you think? Where do you think gout comes from? It ain't candy bars. It ain't Mountain Dew. You get gout from eating too much red meat. It's uric acid buildup. So also you get it with seafood, fish. So people sit here and worry you to death and say, oh, you need to eat a lot of fish. You need to eat a lot of fish. No, you don't. Because I didn't know this. You could also get gout from eating too much seafood. So see, these are the lies that are being spun out here. And if you don't know, you will believe anything that people tell you. This is why you have to do your own research. And I'm glad I did it myself and learned. Somebody told me, Queen, you can eat too much seafood. You can get just as sick as if you was eating red meat every day. So this is why I said this is a stupid idea about the candy bars and the soda pop, because there are lots of things that you can buy at the grocery store that will make you sick. You like bottles of syrup, bottles of ketchup, bottles of dressing. Well, you eat too much of that, you can gain weight. Putting 1,000 pounds of ranch dressing on your French fries, your hamburger, your salad. What's the difference? Pounds of ketchup, pounds of mustard, hot sauce, jam, jelly. Oh, I didn't hear nothing about the jelly. Pounds of peanut butter. Peanut butter, she ain't good for you. White bread, not good for you. Saltine crackers, not good for you. So where you gonna draw the line? That's my point. Food is high in salt, sugar, dyes, preservatives, and some have even been linked to cancer, okay? So it's deeper than just having a sweet tooth. It's deeper than that. You can best believe the average person who is overweight, they are not just overweight because of eating candy bars and drinking soda pop. They have done studies of people drinking soda pop versus diet drinks, and the people who drank the diet drinks gained more weight than the person who drank the soda pop in a 30-day study. See, you have to know the research. You have to know the research. You can gain just as much weight drinking tea, fruit punch, lemonade versus drinking the soda pop. So this is why, you know, the government don't have no common sense. And whoever came up with these ideas about this is just stupid, because as I said, you see people eating out every day. You see people going to the grocery store every day, and people are buying all types of things that are high in fat and salt. And it's not candy and it's not soda pop. It's an assortment of food. So if you're going to ban soda pop and candy bars from EBT holders, then basically you have to tell them not to use the fucking card at all. And that's my commentary. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Prayers for Wendy Williams. Prayers for those with EBT cards here in the United States. In the end, people are going to do what they want to do. And my thing is, I don't think the government needs to start telling us what we can buy with anything. Our money, EBT cards. This ain't Russia. This ain't Iran. And I think everybody's now especially those who voted for 47, you are now getting a look at what you voted for. But as they say, seek and ye shall find. In the end, Americans are going to do what they want to do because they've been doing it. And that's just the way it is. So nobody's going to stop drinking soda because of an EBT card. They're not going to quit eating cookies and cakes and pies. If they got to now go spend the money on a cake and a pie, then I guess that's what they're going to do. We are now no longer in the free world. Also, breaking down the education department, why? As you see, the Supreme Court has blocked these freezes by number 47 pertaining to firing government workers. Now, if you found out that people weren't doing their job, that's a totally different thing. But just letting people go, oh, we'll give you a severance package, blah, blah, blah. People still want their jobs. People like their jobs. And they have a right to have their jobs. Now, I'm all for cutting spending to some degree, but now they're messing with food programs for the children here in Tennessee. So now there are going to be children here in Tennessee during the summer programs won't be getting any type of food. That's being cut out. This is some serious business out here with this number 47. And ain't nobody telling him that he can't eat French fries and hamburgers, because I refuse to believe that Donald Trump don't eat hamburgers and French fries. Stop this bullshit. And I won't doubt he drinks a lot of Coca-Cola. The world, this country's gone. But guess what? I got a refrigerator with 8-ounce Cokes, and I'm going to drink them however I get them. Because I'm grown, I'm going to do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me how to eat, how to live, what to do, how to walk, how to talk, what color I should wear my hair. What's next? Will tell us what color we can buy, can't buy hair dye. I mean, what's next? What side of the street to walk on? Next, you're going to tell us what kind of clothes we can buy. I'm just saying, where are you going next? It's bullshit. And then you got people fighting to get over here, drowning in waters and lakes and ponds to get here. People sitting here waiting on the lottery to get here. Refugees trying to get here. And this is what you all are running to America for. Well, welcome to the great U.S. of A. Where now people are going to try to tell you how to fucking live. What you can eat and what you can't buy. Because my thing is, where does it stop? Because next you'll be telling people what they can buy with their own cash money. Why not? What's the difference? There are many people who get EBT. They don't even get a lot of money every month, especially elderly people and people who are disabled. They don't get a lot of money with EBT. They don't even get $60 in food stamps. And a lot of people diabetical, they have to have some bit of sugar to keep their sugar balance. For the dodo birds that think they know everything. They have to have orange juice to keep their sugar regulated. But this is what happens when you don't think. And once again, people who are obese, everybody's not obese because they ate a lot. Some people come from genetics of heavier people. You've seen it with babies being born, weighing 11, 12 pounds at birth. They weren't eating candy bars. They were just born. And then they grow up to be bigger people. But this is what happens when you don't have any common sense. And in the end, a person's going to find a way to eat what they want. So whether the mother, father, guardian is buying sweets with an EBT card or not, if a person wants to eat a candy bar and they're craving a candy bar, a baked apple pie, whatever, they're going to find a way to eat it, whether they get food stamps or not. And then what are you saying to those who don't get EBT and they're feeding their kids McDonald's, pies, cakes, pizza every day? What message are you sending to those people? Oh, go ahead. Keep feeding your kids junk. It's okay because you don't get an EBT card. I want you to think about that for a second. So basically you're saying it's okay to feed your kids junk because you don't get EBT. The state ain't giving you no government assistance with a food stamp card. So choke your baby out with soda pop, candy bars, high fatty foods. But oh, you get an EBT card, you can't eat this, can't eat this, can't eat this. That's a double standard and it's stupid. But that's the ideology of a food. So you're giving one person a pass to make their cells and others fat versus a person with an EBT card. That don't even make sense. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below this video. Follow the Queen on the News Breakout. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $BigAngie 129 Cash App. Thank you for your time, everybody. 2-part live. Wendy Williams and the EBT ban now passed on suites here in Tennessee. All it has to do is get signed by the governor, and possibly by July 1st, anyone in the state of Tennessee with an EBT card would not be able to buy soft drinks and or candy. Once again, welcome to America. Y'all have a wonderful week. Happy Hump Day. Going to put a movie of the week on the community page. Check it out. God bless all of you. Please stay safe. Be aware of your faculties, everybody. And it's a beautiful day in Tennessee. I'm going to get out and have me a little fun this evening. I'll talk to you guys later. Please be safe, everybody. You've been listening to Vault XL.